Finally found myself a DIY furniture repair project called the T-Cart Mania. Anyway, I've seen quite a few T-carts online here. It's been kind of interesting. This one here, my wife kind of picked up on the side of the road. If you've seen the first video where I kind of did a look over on it. But anyways, this one, you can see I got the wheels tore off. And a good collection of spare parts with bags and stuff. But looking forward to this build here. In the teardown process, especially on the wheels, found quite a few interesting items on this cart here that kind of makes you go so hope you guys enjoy the video. Alrighty, I think I've got everything I need to just start a quick teardown on this T-cart here. But anyways, it looks like a lot of the majority of I would say the vintage hardware is all flathead. So we'll go ahead and just start tearing down. I want to start with these wheels and kind of work my way down and go from there. We'll see what these videos give. And hopefully by video recording, it'll give me kind of a documentation of how these pieces will go back together. There seems to be wow, that's a heck of a lag screw in this wheel here. A little twisty 2000 here to save the wrist a little bit, but we'll see. I would like to use power tools, but I just don't know the condition of this wood here. Yeah, it looks like it's almost like a 6-foot long screw on it with a little washer in there. So, and this thing here, almost like a brass washer that went in between the wheel and the wood here. But the wheel itself seems like it's in pretty good shape here. Just add that to the parts pile here. Keep going. Go ahead and get this other side without trying to knock everything off the table here. And this one here was the one that kind of seemed like it was jacked up. Oh yeah, she's starting to come apart already. But yeah, I guess it'll give us a good condition of this wood. Ooh. Yeah, that one's pretty jacked up. Pretty much same configuration on this side here. It looks like a brass washer in between the wood wheel and I guess the wooden axle part where everything connects. But man, that is a lanky screw on there. I don't know. I mean, this is my first T-cart, so I don't know if anybody else has done one of these things. Is this typical of construction? And then the other thing I would like help on is just how do you age something like this? What era is this from? Is this like 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s? I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I don't remember seeing T-carts, but we did have a lot of weird-ass furniture. As a kid, I remember in the late 70s, early 80s, and especially like grandparents stuff, but I never, and maybe just because I was from up north here, that I never really seen this type of furniture. But yeah, that screw pretty well bent. I don't know if somebody overloaded that thing. This one here's got a slight bend to it, so might be able to straighten those out and reuse those. This is the goal I'm going for here. Now these front wheels, kind of weird. I mean, it fully, but yeah, I think the next step is trying to get these wheels taken out. See if I've got a bit long enough to get in there. And this one too, it looks like it's all flathead, so I mean that should give a indication of the era this stuff came out in. But I mean, it's pretty good size flathead bolt. Let's see if we can get in there and apart. Oh, we're going the other way. Seems like we're tearing stuff up, and I don't want to tear stuff up. See if we can get a closer look at what's going on with that thing. All right, trying to figure out how to get these wheels taken apart, but looking closer at it's kind of a cool little setup on here. It looks like it's got bearings or ball bearings in between the joints here, which is kind of cool. I don't know, it looks almost like they just bearings just kind of sit in a tray, and I think when you separate the top from the bottom, that thing's gonna come apart. I mean, this one relatively rolls really easy, but even looking at this, trying to get this wheel separated out, the wood bends, but I don't want to bend it too far where you snap something. And I mean, this is well, that just came loose. So I mean, we've got templates, I guess. It is interesting. on the construction of this thing. It looks like there's screws going into the wood from this metal end. I don't know if this metal end is original, but I mean, based on this wheel compared to that one, I would say this wheel is roughly more original. But it looks like this thing was just kind of press fitted together. So I mean, we'll have to probably take it apart in chunks. Try not to totally destroy it. I'm hoping we can get that thing to kind of press through. I don't know if there is a way to do that. But yeah, I soaked it down with some oil off screen here, seeing if that would loosen that screw up. Trying to find a bit end wide enough to get a good bite on this thing without tearing up the screw head. I mean, that's a pretty wide screw. Now I'll let that soak for a while. A little dab in there, probably a little dab in this one here too. Yeah, I mean, I may be at a standstill here trying to get this thing apart. Don't want to tear it up too bad. I mean, the wood is somewhat pretty flexible. It'd be nice if I could pull this wheel out and get this thing separated. Let me see if I've got a needle nose pliers. It almost looks like you almost have to drive that out of there. This thing is pretty fragile. You just can't hold her still enough to get a good bite on it. Yeah, that's not wanting to come out of there. And it's metal on metal, so I mean, that thing's probably corroded on there. I don't even know if we can move it on this side of it. Yeah, I may go off camera here, mess with this screw head here. Maybe I can find a better screwdriver tip to actually get me more coverage in there, and maybe kind of mess with this one here, see what I can come up with. I mean, it looks like it's separating up here, but you don't want to pull that wood too far and snap it off. 'Cause, I mean, this is all original and it's in somewhat good shape. Wood on this thing, I mean, that was just kind of glued into place. And this thing, whew, noticing now being all up on it, was definitely in a house that people smoked in. So I noticed there's another layer here, this series of layers of different wood, and I don't know if you could separate that, if that would help, and try not to tear it up. I mean, that wouldn't be too hard to recreate, I'm guessing, but it'd be kind of nice to kind of keep some of these parts around for templates. Probably need to start bagging stuff up in series here, miscellaneous parts. Yeah, I mean, this one here, it's like there's nails, screws. It's just odd, very odd. So I don't know. I might be at a standstill here with this thing on getting it apart, but I'm gonna pause things here and just kind of give it a go on my own here. Back again here, was able to take a pick to this thing and kind of clear out. Looked like it was almost like wood filler in there. Grab my other tray here. We'll start separating pieces of wheel parts. But hopefully I can take this metal side out and be able to take that wheel off, because that wheel needs to be repaired anyway. I want to see how they've got this bearing set up, and hopefully I don't jack the whole process up. Yeah, a little bit of a WD-40 and a pick seemed to do the trick, loosen everything up. Like I was saying, I don't know if this is a repair or if it's part of the original part. Who knows? It's like one of those enigmas. Maybe you have success here. It looks like that is coming off. Okay. So yeah, that pin was kind of seated in there. That's pretty hefty for a wheel. Holy crap. Yeah, as you can see here, this wheel has just started to disintegrate the rubber, but I mean, it's a wood wheel, so it's kind of cool. It'd be kind of, I think they sell replacement rubber. I've never put rubber on a wheel, and there's got to be ways of doing it. Who knows? Yeah, let's see if we can actually get this top one off on this side. Oh, it's twisting. There we go. And that seems to be another lag bolt in there, holding this bad boy in. Like I said, I may have to stop and get baggies here. The way that bearings looked at was underneath this thing, it looks like, yeah, they're just kind of loose sitting in there. And that's kind of weird. That one actually looks like it's missing one. That's pretty interesting. And almost looks just like BBs for the old time BB guns that you'd get as a kid. But holy crap. That is a lanky screw going through there, and that's almost, yeah, about the same length as the ones that go through the big wheels. Yeah, that should just pull off of there, and it almost looks like it's missing one, but kind of a neat design though. Probably have to clean that up, spray some lube down in there. Yeah, it's just a metal insert, and as you can see up here, I don't know if you'll be able to see from the video, but it's just loose BBs up in there which is kind of weird and interesting at the same time. But yeah, it looks like this piece here may have broke at one time. Who knows? But it's a solid piece. Yeah, it'd be interesting. This almost looks like hardwood, and it's got some laminate layers in it that'll probably have to be re-glued, portioned. I mean, like I said, I don't know if that was part of the original repair. I mean, I'm hoping I can tear apart this other side. How many BBs we got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like it's maybe missing one. And I mean, the only way we can tell is probably on this other side. Wow, this may be, I don't know, a deal stopper on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna grab some bags so I can bag up these BBs and not lose them. Let me see if I can get a closer look at that. Hopefully the light isn't too bad on this thing. You actually gotta see that. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what I did with that flashlight. There it is. But yeah, if you can see it, it's just free bearings in there. I mean, they're literally just balls that probably need to be cleaned up. And like I said, it looks like it's missing a space in there, but who knows. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool and neat. Go ahead and set this back up in here. But yeah, try to collect these and not lose anything. Like I said, dexterity on my fingers have gotten pretty bad over the years, but it looks like that whole metal piece just kind of falls out. Like there's about 8 of those in there. They're a little on the rough shape, but I mean, this one here kind of swiveled pretty easy. Kind of a weird design with its long ass legs, because I've never seen that. I mean, even that one looks a little crooked, but weird. All I can say is weird. And let's go ahead and see if we can get all that in one bag itself, so keep everything together. All right, on this other one, hopefully that screw will come loose. Like I said, it looks like somebody's been into this side already, so that may be some issues. And we're gonna go ahead and bag up these screws for the wagon wheel. Find a pin somewhere. Let's get this handle off since it's here. Gotta be an easier way of getting this wheel off. This thing is so rackety. Let me see if I can flip it one more time. Boy, yeah, somebody, whoever was in here the last time, whacked her up pretty good. Take a look at, whew, that screw is in rough shape. Almost looks like there's like wood filler in there, or they kind of, that's a screw going through there. You gotta be kidding me. See if that helps out with the situation. That might make it easy, turn easier. I wonder why they'd run a screw way down there. One more screw holding it on. I mean, I don't even want to save these parts because they're really, somebody kind of jacked this up, which may make this repair or unrepairable. It all depends on how much time you want to spend on this thing. I mean, I kind of hit this with the mentality that it was going to be something I'd do on the side here, maybe do a couple video on the side, maybe in parts, like the tear down maybe 1 week. Like I said, I'm fixing ready to start a new job here, so I don't know how much free time I'll have in between that and just doing the regular stuff around the house and all the other stuff. I mean, I've got a mole infestation in the yard I've got to take care of too, and got a little bit of brickwork repair I've got to do around here. Why would they run a nail in here? Makes 0 sense. Oof. That is no joke of a nail. Okay, interesting. See if we tap this nail out. And just to keep the integrity, whatever I tear off, I'm sticking in the bag. But this looks like an aftermarket repair by somebody. Looks like they tried to do similar wood. Looks like almost feels like a hardwood. Yeah, let's see if that thing will spin now. Or at least with that screw being out of that hole, if this thing will twist. If not, I'll have to come up with some kind of a game plan to get that screw out, because it looks pretty rusted in there. Try not to cause too much more damage, but there's just so much. I almost caught my finger on there. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't do this professionally. This is just kind of a novice hobby. Oh, it's glue. And I mean, it'd be nice if somebody has more information on these type of carts here. What, if these numbers will help out in any kind of research. I try to do a little bit of research earlier in the week when she first brought it back, but I was not able to find any type of a listing of numbers for manufacturers based on just numbers only. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's antique, I think it's vintage. And it's got some farmhouse type attributes to it, just based on some of the design features that are on it. And it's pretty simplistic in nature compared to the other ones I've seen online. But like I said, I want to battle with this foot here offline and see if I can get that off so I can further tear this thing down. All right, back sometime later. Finally got this thing wheel removed. Ended up having to make my first purchase here. Big Daddy screwdriver, so ended up having to put this thing on the floor and kind of tap that thing in with the hammer and give it a few twisties. I mean, it came out rough. It was rusted all the way through the whole screw head, but we got it off. But yeah, just glad it came off. I'm gonna take a break from working this for today because it's already up into the mid 80s here, and inside a garage it's hotter than hell here. But anyway, just wanted to kind of end this video here. I think we're gonna try to keep the segments down to around 10 minutes or so a little bit easier for people to kind of follow. But thanks for watching.